Hello, everybody, and welcome to Off the Rack. I am Sal.
I'm Tiffany.
This is a comic book show where we take the books from the past week that came out from mainly the big two. We recap and review them. We tell you what we thought about them, and then give you recommendations for comics that are coming out this week that we think that you should buy. Also, if you are here watching the show, then you should probably be subscribed. If you aren't, make sure to subscribe. Make it right by subscribing here at ComicPop Returns. And then go over to youtube.com/ComicPop and subscribe over there too, because why not? I mean, if you're already subscribing, and hey, when you're done with that, you can go to twitch.tv/ComicPop and give it a follow and watch Tiffany play video games, usually Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but we'll see how the schedule pairs out in the future. But she's playing video games right now on the Twitch channel. What are you playing right now?
We were playing Avengers, but I might be all Avengered out.
That's fair. That's a crappy game.
Well, I don't listen. If you like a grind, that is the game for you. If you don't like a grind, maybe not for you.
Let's just put it this way: Square's not making a Wolverine game.
Well, no. But if they do make another one, I think they'll hopefully learn a lot from it.
Yeah, they aren't EA.
Question marks. Yeah.
We also wanted to mention this show is sponsored by viewers like you. We are going to be actually rolling out with a new sponsor pretty soon that's like not just you, but if you want to keep it up and you want to keep them out of this, then please use Super Chats. Ask a question or comment. We'll read it here on the show. YouTube does take a cut. If you don't like that, you can always go to patreon.com/ComicPop and help us out there. Patreon does take a cut, but if you don't want to do any of those things, you can also just give the video a like if you happen to enjoy what we do. For example, we are talking about a number of things today, including comics, but we're also going to talk about Star Wars Visions, and our Super Chatter, Just Some Guy with a Mustache, says, with the exception of Production IG, it's a neat seeing all these younger, newer studios strut their stuff with Visions. Appreciate that while there was some stunt casting here and there were also some pro VAs in the mix. He also goes on to say, also refreshing to see Trigger hold themselves back, because if you let them loose, they will go all in on fan service, that kind of fan service. I think I know what you're talking about based on the designs alone from the episode. That was twins.
Okay. Yep.
So I hear you. I feel like Disney probably would not have signed off on that.
Disney's like, yo.
Hey, no. They're twins. Make them stop. But thank you very much for your support, man. And we really appreciate it. Great to see you again. Brian Rowland says, great Elseworlds exchange at the At Home Comic-Con. I wanted to mention, yes, both Joel and myself were at Home Comic-Con, which is to say we went nowhere. We were there on that channel. And if you'd like to catch that episode, you can follow the community tab in this very channel, and there'll be a link directly to it. I'm also going to drop it into the Elseworlds Exchange playlist so you can catch it that way as well. The reason why it's not on our channel is just because the proceeds went to a great charity, and I'd like to keep it that way, but you will be able to hear the audio version on Spotify.
Okay, according to Wikipedia, Trigger also did The Elder.
Oh, did they really?
They did both. Supposedly. Listen, that's Wikipedia. I don't know.
The Elder was...
you determine whether or not that's an accurate statement.
Sure. He also says Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow being only 8 issues is a crime. I disagree. I think it's a perfect amount of issues.
I know how you feel though, because you don't want it to end, and now you know you're halfway through. It's halfway over.
Yeah. He also mentions this is Just Some Guy with a Mustache. Just when you thought General Grievous' arms were the most ridiculous thing, lightsaber high heels. Thank God Japan got a hold of Star Wars. Tiffany, there's no way you didn't love those lightsaber high heels.
I love those lightsaber high heels. I love Bayonetta, so I love those lightsaber high heels. I was like,
yeah. By that point, it was like, okay.
I legit got a chuckle. I chuckled.
No, I had no complaints about pretty much about any of them. Like, I liked all of them.
I liked all of them too. I think we had a little complaint for one of them at the beginning, but to be honest, every Visions episode gave me something I wanted to see.
Yes.
That's it. I thought I was going to go somewhere else at that sentence.
Let's go down the list of every episode just to give our very quick thoughts.
Yeah, so there's 9 episodes. There's The Duel.
The Duel.
My favorite.
Was a really strong showing. Blew your mind right out of the gate. I also found it to be fascinating and beautiful.
Yeah.
And it was the best one.
That was my favorite. I think they all
they all
were good. I all enjoyed them, and I all had moments from them that I really, really liked. The Duel was easily for me. I was like, oh, this is all I ever wanted. Yeah, no,
it did everything that I've wanted Star Wars to do when we got the technology for Star Wars to go do that.
Yep.
So yeah, The Duel, great.
Tatooine Rhapsody.
I was certain this was going to be my least favorite, and it turned out being one of my favorites.
Really had a good time with it.
I did as well.
It was fun, and it was smart to put them in this sort of order where it was like you didn't get super serious constantly.
Right. So you didn't
They're
like get confused when
yeah,
this came up.
the two styles from Studio Colorido,
Hmm.
and Kamikaze Doga, whatever. Very different styles too. And again, I think really smart to really immediately be like, hey, if you're watching
It's
them,
going to be
if you're
different.
watching them in order, which you don't have to at
None of them are
all,
connected.
they're not connected even remotely. It's just what you kind of want to watch. We happen to just go down the list.
Yes.
We just went down 1 through 9.
Yep.
Numerically. The Twins.
The Twins was fine. It was the most ridiculous.
That one to me had like it gave me like some anime nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the over explanation of the protagonist at the other protagonist.
But like it didn't feel jarring or surprising. It was just like an
You
anime.
might have had enough. I was like, yeah.
No, yeah.
It's gonna happen.
I was just like, okay, yeah.
It's gonna happen. Really like the style of that one.
Yeah, me too.
Really like the character designs for it.
Yep.
And the fight sequences
were great.
Yeah. The Village Bride.
That was lovely as well.
I like that one more than I thought I was going to. Really had a good time with it. Really, kind of just a beautiful story.
Yes.
The Ninth Jedi.
This one that was the one with is that the lightsaber building? Like where it's like the guy who builds lightsabers?
Yes.
Great episode.
That had a moment for you where you were like,
yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I loved that one. I had no problem with that one.
That one had a dope build.
Yep.
And just again, that there's like a very distinct moment in that episode that just chef's kiss. Just,
yes. It was great.
TOB1.
Weakest one.
It's
like Astro Boy. It was very old school.
I think that depends. I loved the animation in that.
I liked it.
I thought I like a lot of different styles of animation, and while that may not be my typical go-to, there was something charming about it.
Charming about the designs and the execution. I thought that that was what it was. That was what was on display, because like the story was like, it was just, there was a lot behind the scenes. You know, like I liked the idea. I think that the Jedi Master is limbless.
Yes.
So he's using the Force as like extension of arms. I'm like, great idea. But you know, I was like, this is pretty straightforward. Like, I get it.
No, I like that one. I like that. I thought it had a lot of heart. I like the message. And again, I really, really enjoyed the animation for that and color palette for that episode.
Yes, color palette's great.
The Elder. This one, for me,
that's
had
the one
a
with
really
the
strong finish.
Yes.
But there was a lot
I'm sorry.
There was a lot of like animation saves there.
That was the weakest one.
Yeah.
That was a slow opening.
Now
there was a lot. The animation was very, very.
That's one that I'd love
stilted.
to go back and actually. We watched them in English, except the first one, obviously. Yes. But I'd love to go back and watch that one and see if it's different or like what the story is a little. I didn't really like the voice acting in that one.
No.
And there was a lot of those like, let's look at the back of something that so we don't have to animate it moments.
Right.
And that does also save though if you're doing a dub, because you don't have to worry about how badly the dub might meet up with the way where the mouth is animated. So it does save you there. But like it was just. To me, it felt very obvious.
Yeah, no, very.
So like that one, even though at the end
the fight was great.
There were elements of it that felt like, you know, newer Star Wars, but then there were elements of that fight that felt like old original Star Wars. And there's obviously a moment there that I know you've always wanted to see. We finally got to see it in an animation form. So that was cool. That's what I'm saying. Like every episode, even if it wasn't our favorite, had something.
That's right.
Lop and Ocho.
That one I liked a lot. I was surprised by how much I liked it.
I didn't think you were going to.
Nope. But the animation was spectacular.
The animation was great. I really I enjoyed the story. I again, it's something that had a lot of heart.
Very, you know, it felt very much like an anime. Like that one was like, it's about family. Yes. It's about adoption. It's, you know, I felt the anime influence on that one. No complaints.
I felt like some like Hosoda influence there. Summer Wars.
Yes.
A little bit. Probably not, but like that, I was like, I just had fun with it. That was just a fun episode.
Totally.
And then Akakiri.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Very like that one was an interesting way to
end it.
Like if you watch them in a row, I'm just thinking about that. Like we start on a very serious note, we end on a very serious note.
Yes.
There. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that now that I'm thinking about it. Like,
yeah, it was good.
yeah,
It was
no, that was an excellent one. Again, very distinct style, very different style from every episode had a super distinct style.
Yep. Clear direction.
Yeah.
Very much a deliberate tone and execution. Like there was no like there was no middling. There was no time.
No.
But all of them also used their time really well.
I would say except for the Elder. The Elder to
the
me,
Elder was weak. That could have been 5 minutes.
that one wasted a little bit of time for me because most of them really successfully did a lot of world building in clever ways in a very short amount of time, occasionally utilizing a voiceover like we saw in which episode was it with the lightsaber building?
The Ninth Jedi.
Yeah, the Ninth Jedi. I think we had a voiceover for
I think
just
you're right.
to kind of set us up a little bit.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like with Lop and Ocho,
that one felt a little long, but not
the Lop and Ocho one.
I felt, but not like it felt like it took too long. It just I felt like there was so much in it that it I was like, is this a little longer than the rest of the episodes?
I don't.
I was like, I think it might be by 1 or 2 minutes.
But that can be a lot in animation,
especially in this kind of execution.
Yeah, but really solid world building across the board, and an experience that I look forward to watching again.
Yeah,
because it's such a little amount of time to invest in watching an episode here and there.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that in a world where you're like bombarded with content, it's something to really easily watch 1 or 2.
Yes.
Whenever you can, without having to worry about like keeping up with a constant story narrative. You can just watch something, enjoy it, and then whenever you get a chance, watch the next one.
It's true. And it's also brilliant for Disney / Lucasfilm because like there's 9 pilots. You want a show out of the most popular one?
No, don't
you
do
have
that.
your own you have your own market research. Like we know they know which one was the most popular episodes.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I would say that what they should do is instead of necessarily building that world, giving that studio an opportunity to develop a different show.
Yeah. I would take more of most of it.
Some of them I think you could definitely
explore.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them you probably could. I was just thinking,
you don't want a Mushishi of the first of the duel. Well, where he just goes from town to town, planet to planet.
I do.
Yeah.
I very much want that.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, it was it came kind of out of nowhere for me. I wasn't following any of it, but as far as most Star Wars projects in the world, this one was like the one where when I was a kid and I was into Star Wars, I would have been like weird, lame, opportunistic. Now I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, and then you go back in time and smack younger you and be like,
you don't know anything,
idiot.
Yeah. How about you? Danny Ollie with an adorable super sticker. Thank you very much, Danny. Appreciate it. We can't show it here, but rest assured. Kevon, the original. Any chance for the rest of Injustice on back issues? One day, maybe. Probably not.
Oh, someone reminded me, not by saying this exact thing, but I wanted to point out in that Lop and Ocho story, the use of like a crane.
Yeah.
As like the Jedi.
Oh yeah. As the crest.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was great. That really blew your mind.
I don't know why. That's what blew my mind.
Yeah. Justin Bouffard or Beauford says, well, he's saying everything he can with an adorable sticker. Thank you very much, Justin.
Hang on, I'll see if I can't find some of these. Okay, I found the first one, the Danny Ollie one. Love it. Good game.
I do love it. Yeah.
I like good game. Thank you, Danny Ollie.
Mm-hmm.
Going down to the next one. It's an upside down smiley face.
Fine by me.
I hope you're having an okay day, Justin.
Yeah, man. Girk Pectus, have you read Frey the Future Vampire Slayer? Even if you hate Buffy, I recommend it. No.
I like the caveat of even if you hate Buffy, just try.
Right.
It.
I don't hate Buffy, but I also don't care. It's not. I don't have a regard for Buffy.
Apparently there's a manga app for the duel episode, according to Justin.
Well, there we go.
I just gotta pick that up.
Comics King's first time catching the show live. Thank you guys for the great content. Hope to see you at Baltimore Comic Con. I'm sure we will.
Mm-hmm.
Psycho Red, yo, it's Comic Papa. Hey, that's right. If you follow us on TikTok.com/Comic Papa, you'll be able to see nothing good. And Tiffany from Twitch's Comic Pop channel. Keep up the good work. That's right, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
MNNM says, not sure how I feel about Disney getting their dirty hands on the anime industry. They'll never buy a studio, but it's bad enough if they get too involved with some anime production company or something. Don't tell them.
Yeah, don't tell them.
Don't tell them about Studio Ghibli from 25 years ago.
Yeah. They know.
Okay. Because, the anime's been distributing Studio Ghibli movies for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
But listen, have you watched them? You should, because they're freaking dope anyway.
Mm-hmm.
He also says Goku's voice actor is Masano Nozawa, played the cute little Jedi droid. Nice.
yeah.
I loved that droid. That was great. Every droid.
Okay, yeah, that was another thing too. I want to talk about that. Like some of the best designs for droids that I've seen in quite a while, although shout out to BD1, came from this.
Yeah.
They each studio, when they put a droid in, for me, they just nailed it.
They nailed it. They nailed it in a way where it was like it felt Star Wars, but it also felt very new.
Yeah. Ocho's or Lop's
droid. Loved it. Dan V900, very thankful that I didn't know about the reveal for the Shogun before seeing The Duel. A book about that character was revealed months ago, and I'm glad I didn't know. It was also my favorite.
There you go.
Yeah, same here. And Raj Patel, the inclusion of the Suicide Squad in Swamp Thing. What's the matter?
Oh, I was like, we're not on Star Wars now.
Oh, no. The inclusion of the Suicide Squad in Swamp Thing number 10 was surprisingly poignant, with them being an allegory for colonialism destroying the environment, and we learn more about the new host, Levi.
I'm a little behind on Swamp Thing at this
I know.
I got to catch back up.
Getting there. But yeah.
That's on me. I must have missed an issue at one point, because then the next issue, I was like, wait, what?
Right.
So I got to go back, and then I missed another one. So once you miss an issue, sometimes it's like it becomes a snowball effect.
That's true.
Sometimes. It depends.
Yeah.
It depends on how much time I have, or how much time I slate myself for reading.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta schedule reading, folks.
It takes time.
Especially for me, not this guy.
No.
He's a very fast reader.
Yeah.
Very fast reader.
I read, speaking of things that we read, Batman the Detective number 5 of 6, penultimate issue. It's from Tom Taylor and Adam Kubert. I don't know if we reviewed this last week, but if we did, I apologize. If we didn't, it's penultimate issue, reveals the identity of the villain and the true motivations thereof and their grand plan. And I'm still enjoying this book. It's a solid classic Batman book made by people who obviously love The Dark Knight Returns and grittier Batman, but while still like it feels like a perfect blend of like Frank Miller and Neil Adams Batman. The designs are great. The art is spectacular. The story is cool and fun. I don't know if I'm necessarily buying Batman as a full-blown detective. He does detect, but it's not real. I was really expecting this to be like a kind of amazing mystery, and it's not. It's just a cool Batman book and a decent Batman title. This could have been called Batman Shadow of the Bat. This could have been called Legends of the Dark Knight. This could have been called anything. Batman Europa. Like this, there are a million different titles for Batman that this could have been, that this is instead, and I'm fine with it. I have no complaints about it. I love this book, and I enjoy the art so much. Taylor's writing is great too, but the art is the star of the show.
I know you've really, really been enjoying this book.
I have. I know you didn't really care for it, but like
I didn't. It just didn't hit me.
No, maybe all at once it might, but like I wouldn't make you read it again. It's very much the same as always.
I only made it through one issue.
Yeah, well, every issue is pretty much like it feels the same. It's not like in a bad way. It's just like it's consistent, but it's like there's no way where it's like it ratchets it up to 11 by issue 3. Like it's the same book.
Who doesn't want to go to 11?
I don't know. Ethan Velez says, Usagi Ojimbo Easter egg in Visions was so happy. I didn't see that. That sounds great. Unless you're talking about Lop being Usagi.
No, I think it was a symbol.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
Well, don't tell Disney.
How'd they get away with that?
I don't know. What have you got that you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about? Since we're talking about DC, I might as well just toss this out there. I randomly decided to pick up Aquaman The Becoming.
Yes.
This is written by Brandon Thomas with art by Diego
Tegui.
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. I picked this up because I read that Future State Aquaman.
You did.
Book,
That's
and
right.
I kind of dug it. So I wanted to see and Thomas wrote that one. So I wanted to see what more they had to offer. This is a kind of limited series, I believe, with 6 issues. So not a big commitment to checking this out. And I gotta tell you, I really enjoyed it. It is a lot of fun. It's a kind of coming of age sort of story.
Okay.
Not necessarily akin to like a Miles or a Static, but more that he's kind of growing up in the shadow of Aquaman.
Right.
And just wants to prove himself, but like he's just a good kid. Like he's just a good kid balancing a dual life of like under the sea and at an Amnesty Bay.
Okay.
Not
Amity Bay.
Not Amity Island.
No.
Amnesty Bay. Every time I think of like an amnesty, as you know.
It does not mean family.
No, it does not mean friendship.
Friendship, that's it.
There's there's a bit of a mystery afoot, if you will. And at the end, we find that Jackson's in a bit of hot water. I say a bit of hot water.
Welcome to the wacky comic duo of the morning, W902. Boing.
And in trouble with the Atlanteans,
right,
for something he didn't do.
Oh,
but there's evidence to think that he may have done
oh.
it. I really like the way he's written. He's just like a likable kid. Like he's just very like I want to read more about him. I want him to succeed.
Yeah,
you know, but he's a young kid. He's gonna mess up along the way somewhere, I'm sure. They also show us like a Danger Room-esque VR style training program where he's running this apocalypse program.
Okay, so he's fighting like parademons and stuff.
Yeah. And so like he comes out of it, and like Arthur's there, and he's like, "How'd you do it?" He's like, "I actually made it to this thing this time." So he's like, "Not bad." It's just cute. Like,
that is cute.
They're doing. I know that there's been some other world building attached to it. I haven't read anything else other than this.
Right.
But I was able to jump into this without too much of an issue.
That's great, because this is definitely connected to, if not directly homaging, the future state era that wasn't supposed to be a thing, but definitely easily is. So like I would hope for at least consistency, if not like a whole thing.
Yeah. So. It just fun, cute. I might continue with this because, again, like I said, it's only the 6 issues, and I want to know more about this kid. And I also really, the art's good, it's solid, but I really like Thomas's writing.
That's nice.
So
I'm not familiar with their work, so I don't know.
They've done a couple of other books, but where I knew him from was I was like, where do I know this name from? I'm like, it's from
this book, but like from a year ago.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So had a fun time.
Good. Speaking of fun times, obviously I read Nightwing number 84 from Tom Taylor, this time with art by Robert Rodriguez. This is unfortunately a tie-in to Fear State. I'm not reading Fear State, but good and bad news. Number 1, if you are reading Fear State, you don't need this. And if you're not reading Fear State, then this is just a tie-in. So it's like, it's either just a tie-in and so it doesn't really matter, or it's just a tie-in and it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But the art's great, and it just features Nightwing being lured into Gotham after having just set up his new status quo in the previous issue, taking on the kind of underbelly of Bloodhaven, and being lured there by a priority signal from Oracle. He goes to Gotham. He's ambushed by the Public Eye, or whatever the hell they call it. I don't care. And he bumps into Batman in Crime Alley. And he's lured to Crime Alley. He gets there. Batman shows up.
Batman's just there being sad.
Yep.
What are you doing here?
The two of them fight drones for a while. They go underground. They reconvene. Nightwing hooks up with Barbara, not physically. Rather, he just goes to the watchtower and he's like, "Hey, want to tell you, someone's ghosting your phone and sending out phony signals." And she's like, "I know, and I can't do anything from the tower. I'm going to have to dress like Batgirl and be Batgirl." And it's like, we just set up this whole long thing about how she's not Batgirl anymore. How it's like, any one day could be my last, and it'll burn out my chip and stuff. It's like, yeah. And then they were like, and she's going to be Batgirl. And I'm like, I guess she's Batgirl in the book, like in Fear State, and they need to explain it.
Right.
And Tom Taylor's a good errand boy. I mean, honestly, the art's spectacular. The writing is a lot of fun, and you get to see Batman and Nightwing team up. There's a cute moment where Nightwing and Batman kind of like trade, not barbs, rather support.
Okay.
And basically, he's like, you don't have to come here and save my ass. And Batman's like, well, I already lost my parents to Crime Alley. I'll be damned if I lose my son.
Oh.
Taylor's like, he's doing a thing, but he's like, I'm just gonna put in these moments that he's been asking for, and we've all been asking for forever. So worth the price of admission. Know that it has nothing to do with anything happening in Nightwing right now, and it is just a tie-in to Fear State that probably just explains why Nightwing and Batgirl are in Fear State. But again, like, if you're just reading Fear State, you don't need this, so don't worry about it. Don't let them tell you anything different. But you should be buying it anyway because it's just a good book.
There you go. It is. It is legitimately a good book, and I love when I have the chance to bomb in on it.
Exactly. And you can. Taylor makes it easy.
He does, and it's enjoyable. And is Redondo still?
Bruno Redondo is doing it normally. This is a tie-in, so I think
Okay.
they gave Redondo a break
Okay.
with Rodriguez's art
Okay.
because it
That's
was so
okay. That's great. I mean, I love Redondo.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
His art makes it easy too.
Oh yes. Axe says, ready for this week's final retcon on Spider-Man 74. What do you think it's gonna be? No more One More Day. Gwen Stacy never died. Now what, Nick Spencer? Well, it's his last hurrah. We'll see what happens.
He'd be like, Uncle Ben never died.
Right.
It was a clone.
Great. It'd be fantastic.
He's the first clone in Spider-Man's world.
Yeah. I was the first. Honestly,
he comes out, he's got a big Santa beard from someplace.
It was me, Peter.
I'm free.
Where's
your hand?
No. I like all the things that I don't like necessarily how Spencer's done them, but I do like the end result. You know what I mean? This is one of those things where it's like, I should have just skipped the whole run and then just picked it up after it was over and been like, what did Spencer do? Sounds like a great job. It's like we have a contractor who did my kitchen. It's like when you're watching them do it the whole time. You're like, no, oh God, how are you going to fix this? This is a mess. This is a nightmare. And there's no way you're going to get it done in time. And then it's like, oh, it's a great kitchen. Thanks a lot. I should have just left you alone. Yeah, should have just left it alone.
Right.
But yeah, I can't wait, man.
I just want to point out in the chat,
yeah,
someone said, Big Sal and the Zoobs.
Hey, welcome to Big Sal and the Zoobs.
It made me laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I had to call that out. It's just too great.
I should also point out, speaking of great art and dope stuff,
yeah,
I got a little bit of a sneak preview.
Did you?
Of an upcoming arc for a not Marvel and DC book that I have talked a lot about, and I won't say any more about what that book is, but the art is so spectacular in it. I wonder if I like it more than the art from the first arc, which I said
I know what you're
was
talking
better.
About. Okay, I know what he's talking about. I'm caught up. He gave enough clues that my brain put it all together.
I was like, wow, you guys are in for it. Like, it's just gonna be great. You might see my name on a trade for this book.
Oh wow!
Like, it's just I was like, oh my God,
yeah,
good for everybody. This is great for the artist, and especially good for the writer, who's going to get a nice.
Yeah, no, this is somehow spiritually followed the art that came before,
but also turns it to something else.
Definitely dials into something new, and way up my alley.
I know.
Okay,
I know. Make sure the colors are great.
Colors, man, they're important.
Owen Road, any other Daredevil stories that you guys would like to do for back issues? I'm starving for more Daredevil. I would like to do some Ann Nocenti Daredevil.
Okay. I mean, I'm not telling you can't.
No. Let's talk about this X-Men Onslaught book.
Yeah, let's talk about that
because
book.
I read it and I don't want to even talk about it. Onslaught Revelation number 1.
Why?
Because it was just so dense and I don't care about anything that was happening.
I loved this book.
I know. I knew you would.
I loved this issue.
I knew you would.
Had a great time.
I didn't not love it. I was like, wow, a lot of things are happening in this book and they really matter, and I couldn't care less about any of it. It just doesn't. It's not for me.
Even if they simultaneously uplifted Fabian Cortez and also squashed him down.
They did. No, it's huge.
It's like a neutral sandwich.
Yeah. If you like Fabian Cortez, you will love this issue. And if you hate Fabian Cortez, you will love this issue. If you have been clamoring for an Onslaught return that might have more depth than the last time he returned, then you'll love this issue.
Yeah.
If you love Onslaught because of the Onslaught run from 1996, you will hate this issue because it ain't that.
It's not that at all.
All.
I mean, it is Onslaught.
It's Onslaught, all right. Kinda.
No, it is. It's him.
It's a piece of Onslaught.
Well, yeah, but it's a piece that's trying to grow to regain his abilities. It is at the core. It's Onslaught. It's Onslaught. Just he's not fully powered up, and that's all he wants is to.
Yes.
Consume enough so that he can become real.
Yes.
Basically, and get back out there doing his Onslaught thing.
Mm-hmm,
and that's what this is dealing with. Is I thought they were going to drag this out.
Me too. And halfway through this issue, I'm like, I think they're going to wrap it up.
Spurrier is a smart guy.
Yes.
He is a smart guy. And I got to tell you, who's on art for this? Bob?
Quinn.
Quinn. It's so good.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed.
No, I will share a great big splash page of Onslaught.
So
It's the
good.
coolest he's looked in 20
It's
years.
cool. He looks cooler than he has any right to look. Cooler than he has
Also, way
any
to give
right
him a
to look,
sword. He never had a sword before,
right?
but
It's like a fork,
it
which I
is.
appreciate because he's consuming things.
Reminds me of
Also it's a sword. There's a
yeah,
lot of swords happening in
yeah.
X-Men.
That sword reminds me of like the sword ship.
Oh yeah. X-Men, we love swords.
They do love swords.
I thought this was a clever issue.
It is a clever
especially
issue.
in how he is going to do this. He uses an idea, and I love that because that's kind of what Krakoa was to be an idea. It was an idea.
Yeah.
And that's what Onslaught has. And I'm like, of course he does, because he's the brainchild of two of the three like founders of Krakoa.
That's right. That's right.
So brilliant. Uses a simple suggestion a la Inception in order to accomplish his goals, although a little more overt. And I love the fact they call it the Crucible.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna get a bunch of characters there.
All of the characters. His plan is to get everybody.
It wasn't quite everybody.
It couldn't be everybody.
No, it was a lot of the younger folk.
Yes.
And Magneto. Because he wanted to keep Charles and Magneto involved.
Yes.
And so like they're there.
And it's not really explored, but I think it's because he's like, in order for me to exist, Magneto has to go away.
Probably.
Because I don't exist while Magneto's around.
Yeah, but I think it's most of the younger folk, because that's who Kurt was the most concerned about.
Yes.
And so that's who he's really influencing. And I thought that was genius to bring them there and basically have a Matrix-esque party that ends in a bloodbath.
Yeah. The idea would be that like Onslaught is influencing all of these young mutants and giving them a like post-telepathic suggestion that they should party hard.
Yeah.
And then kill each other.
Yeah, in like a huge mass murder. There's like an actual moment of like terror here for me.
Oh, yeah.
As I was reading this, and I was like, I never thought, I mean, there are the backups, but not when the guy in charge of it is doing it. But like there's a moment in this in which Onslaught is influencing Charles Xavier and he is deleting backups of the children.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so messed up. Especially as we have seen, because Spurrier built a story up in which these kids oftentimes like let themselves be killed or have their first death as like a dare or a whim because they don't respect it. And so like, of course, it's going to be easier to influence them.
Yeah.
But then to find out that they can't come back.
Yeah.
Magneto also realizes that.
Yep. Oh yes, when he is awoken.
Yes.
He's like, Charles, we go open the door.
Yeah, yeah. This is a Spurrier story. So there's like a lot of like levels of like it's just clever.
Yeah.
I think it's clever, at least. The way in which they end up finding him and like bringing him out. I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. It makes sense why we've really been focusing on this other character for so long, and why Fabian Cortez has really hung on in this book for whatever reason. Right? I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked the reveal quite a bit. I like that they take care of it, and I like that at the end of the day, Kurt says this isn't a religion.
Yeah.
It's just a way of life.
That's right. It's a way of X.
Yes, that's what I thought was so brilliant. I'm like, we're all over here thinking, Kurt's gonna form a religion. He's, he is a religious individual.
They do.
Yeah, but like what he's saying here is that like you can still have your religious beliefs.
Right.
Like he can still follow his beliefs, but also live in this way.
Yes.
In this. And I was like, that's cool. It's neat. This is a fun issue. It's essentially a one and done in a sense because they're building a new team. Yeah,
this whole thing is springboarding another thing.
Yeah. And I like that what he names it at. He names it after Legion, the Legionaries.
The Legionnaires?
No, they say Legionaries.
It's Legionaries, you're right.
And it looks like Juggernaut's on the team.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Maybe.
Right? I think so.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I hope Spurrier's writing this. I didn't look it up at all.
Me either.
But if you didn't read Way of X, this book's going to be a little confusing for
Oh,
you.
yeah. No, you need to have read Way of X.
Yeah, and I don't know if you'll need to keep up with this if you want to read the team book that's following.
I doubt it.
It depends on where he goes with it.
Right. I feel like it'll only be enhancing. It'll only enhance the reading experience.
Probably.
But it won't be essential reading.
Probably. It's fun, though, that they acknowledge Onslaught without having to make it a huge event.
Right, right. Well, while also
that.
teasing that it could have been.
It
like,
could
this
have been.
could have been huge.
This could have been something.
Yeah.
This could have been something. And clearly this issue must take place before
right?
Trial of Magneto?
Sure, yeah.
It's difficult to tell.
I think so. I think this takes because it easily could have, because it doesn't feature anybody of any consequence, and
other than Magneto.
And Chuck won't let anybody remember that he was like momentarily taken over by Onslaught and deleted a bunch of records. I hope they have like I hope it was into a recycling bin and not like a hard delete.
No, he can just he would just have Cerebro do a backup now.
Right.
It's just that they would die before anyone would know to do the backup.
Exactly.
And so that was the problem. So like, as long as the backup kicks in before any of them perish, they'll be fine.
Right. Kevbot 1995. In my opinion, Visions brought back the mystery and awe that captivated me with original Star Wars. Respected the lore, gave cool twists. The voice acting in Japanese was great. Even the weaker episodes were just wholesome, and the score.
Yeah, I really like the music as well throughout. I agree. It was just, I didn't expect it to be everything I wanted.
Right.
I mean, I was excited. Basically, you showed it to me. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like, I was in, but I didn't expect every single episode to have something from it that I loved.
Me too. Yeah. Dan V, the book cover and synopsis for the dual prequel novel spoils who the Shogun is, and I love The Ninth Jedi. That was my second favorite, and found the twins to be overhyped with the praise for it. See, we thankfully watched them before it came out. We got screeners thanks to Disney, and so we watched it unfettered and without any like influence.
Yeah.
And as a result, we were able to just enjoy it all, which I really did.
Yeah.
And,
which is why I get when they sometimes like request you not talk about something ahead of time.
I get it, yeah.
Because it's not only is it unfair, especially if someone has something negative to say about something, but if something is overly hyped, it does influence you. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it sometimes will take quite a while for you to come back to that property of whatever it is to give it a fair shake on your own.
Agreed. Kevbot back to say, also, I really appreciated the recent interview with Scott Snyder, which happened on our show, Absolute Comics. Not our show, but rather Benny's show over on Comic Story, and through our mutual channel, Absolute Comics, which you can find by Googling it. It's just great hearing him rant about his passion and how much he wants to help others in achieving their writing goals. Thanks again. Yeah, no, it was great to have Scott on, and Scott had a lot of great insights during that episode about the process and about like why he wants to do these things. Do you like writing? You like comic books and stuff like that? I actually just finished a recording of a conversation with Jim Zub, an unsung creative from the comic book industry whose work you love, you just don't know it necessarily, and you should definitely check out. But you should definitely watch that episode because it is just there's no pauses, there's no lulls, it's a volleyball match of conversation. That's and great. Influence, and it's if you are looking for inspiration, if you're looking for tips and techniques and how to improve your writing, but more importantly, improve your brand. And he'd hate me saying that, but it's true. Then you should definitely check out that episode. I'm gonna drop it probably tomorrow.
I might check that episode.
yeah, I think you should. Novus says, would you guys ever consider doing any of Lemire's work on back issues? He's an amazing writer, and I feel like you'd love his Essex County and Animal Man. Yeah, we've never done any Lemire, I don't think, and I think we would. Obviously, his Green Arrow is a popular choice. Animal Man is a choice, but like obviously we do Grant Morrison before we did Lemire. So yeah, there is always an opportunity. I think Lemire also has a run on Moon Knight we'd like to cover at some point.
Yes.
So there's plenty of Lemire to go around. You like Descender? If this channel had 600,000 subscribers, we would absolutely have already done Descender by now.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
But I'm not gonna sink the ship with that.
not with Descender, especially since he doesn't really care. Girk Pactus, did you see Rick and Morty season 5? I thought it was okay overall, but I loved Evil Morty. And I won't spoil any more about it. I will say we did watch it, we loved it, and I really enjoyed how it turned out. I like the setup, and I like how you can, like, if you ever listen to any Dan Harmon interviews, you can feel him on every page. And so, it's just them just being sick of hearing every question and just being like, we just want to be motivated to write stories and not be like Venture Brothers and like not get hung up on continuity and like deliberately withhold information arbitrarily for decades.
Yeah.
Because I love Venture Brothers, but like that's what they did, and I got sick of it. Eventually, I you keep mentally asking the question, and they kept thematically teasing the answer, and then after like a 10-year hiatus, I'm like, I don't give a shit. So one day we're gonna watch all of Venture Brothers again, and I will probably enjoy it because I think we're getting a movie.
Yeah.
I know we talked about Rick
supposedly.
and Morty, but
Yeah, no, Rick and Morty, I thought it was also okay. I'm like trying desperately to really think of like something that I really, really liked, but I feel like
from Rick and Morty.
Yeah, from this past season.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously the incest baby was the weakest episode.
It wasn't because we got a lot of Keith David in that episode.
He's great,
and so like
President's President.
I like that episode because of him.
Yeah. Yeah, but not because of anything else. Yeah.
But I definitely got some laughs from it.
I laughed every episode.
Yeah, but that last episode was pretty solid.
I think it was pretty solid. It was not as solid as the first episode of like season of like season 2 and 3. Where it's like Rick taking over the Citadel and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like, these are all like really good, and this was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like Story Train, which is I was like, what are you even doing? It's funny. I enjoyed it, but like couldn't care less. So let's talk about some X-Men. X-Men number 3 from Jerry Duggan and Pepe Larraz, obviously flagship title, the new architect of the X series, despite the fact that Hickman is still doing an X-Men book that you're not reading over on Marvel Unlimited.
I'm not.
Yeah, no, nobody is. So, but you are reading this, and it's great, and it continues the noble tradition. It's just number 3. It's number 3.
How'd you feel about this?
I mean, it was fun as hell.
There was a moment where I was like, Sal's got to be enjoying himself right now.
Every issue is the X-Men dealing with a huge, oft forgotten or neglected element of the Marvel universe.
Yes.
And this one is about the High Evolutionary. Solid, because they treat him like an asshole moron, and but still he still retains his dignity as like a douche.
Yes, and Rogue has zero patience,
which is the audience,
right? And rightfully so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff overall.
Great looking.
Oh god.
When his guard shows up, I was here for it.
Yeah.
When all the animals show up.
The animal things. Yeah, well, that's the High Evolutionary for you. That's what he does.
Tesla font.
I embody the noble traditions of the elephant and Tesla.
Scott's like, X-Men love elephants.
Yeah, we all love elephants. What are you talking about? So weird.
Yeah,
it's a weird choice.
Listen, I'm just happy to see Scott Summers having a nice time. He's just having fun.
He is having fun.
Having fun.
Yeah, look at him enjoying himself and smiling. It's so rare.
I know, right?
I would if I had gone through the years that Scott Summers had gone through. I too would just take every opportunity to have a nice time. There's a great tender moment between him and Jean.
Yes,
which I really enjoy, but also keeps it weird.
I thought it was real.
But also like,
what with the rock paper scissors thing?
Yeah,
I thought that was very sweet.
I thought so too.
I also am enjoying the friendship that Rogue and Polaris have.
Yeah,
like there's like something there.
Yeah, I agree,
and I like that. I Rogue is married to Gambit at this point. But it's just kind of fun to see her. I think she just makes friends wherever she goes. I mean, can't help herself.
How could she not?
Right.
She's just she has charm.
She does.
Yeah.
It's just oozing. I love that the High Evolutionary is like, I thought Rogue was something, but then he gets a hold of Sync and he's like, okay, no, this is
this guy.
This is my guy.
Also, Sync gets a great moment.
Yes.
Where he probably was like, oh, yay.
Yeah.
Because
she's kind of like, what?
High Evolutionary wants Sync's blood, and she's like, oh, if you want it.
Yeah.
You can have it when you're standing over my dead body. And he's like,
oh.
Because that he's lived 1,000 lifetimes with her, and she doesn't remember any of it.
Yep. Yeah.
So he's just on the team so that he can one day rekindle their love.
Hopefully.
So he gives High Evolutionary a drop of their blood or his blood, and I love it because he's just like, that's gonna bite me in the ass, isn't it? And Scott's like, oh yeah.
Oh, I mean, like it always does with him. With this guy, yes.
Yeah, but you ended you ended the main conflict, and that's what matters.
And we saved a whole bunch of people, and like the next time he comes back, we'll kick his ass again. It's totally okay.
We can't die. Who cares?
I think it's just that like Scott has learned that he's like they never go away.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's worth it to save the like people because they're always going to come back.
Yes.
I like that wisdom in Scott's leadership.
Yeah.
That we see there.
Also,
it's also just funny.
Yeah, you get a couple of things in this. You got the High Evolutionary showing up and
Mm-hmm.
threatening being another player during the current Dawn of X era.
Mm-hmm.
You get the breadcrumb of Sync. What's the High Evolutionary going to do with him?
Yeah.
You also get a couple of things with Sunspot and what was the other thing that I was going to say? I don't remember. There was another big thing that was they find out about Game World.
Yes, Jean has like a
momentary flash.
No, she has a conversation with the High Evolutionary
about
it via their minds.
Yeah, that took me a minute to like get because I was using Guide of View and I'm like, what am I even looking at here? And it's like, that's what this is. Yeah. High Evolutionary let her look into his mind.
Yeah, he's like, you're smart,
right?
Like, we can talk, you and I. Mm-hmm. It's fine. So we get to know a little bit more about Cordyceps Jones and how much. The fact that High Evolutionary doesn't like these guys. I really like the way in which he explains it. He's like, I don't like Game World, even if it is a natural evolution of
Mojo World.
Yeah, Mojo World, not MODOK. Mojo World.
Yeah.
I don't like it because they treat every planet the same way. And I was like, what? And then he goes on to explain that he's like, if you found a world that has like magnificent ponies, and I was like, where are you going with this?
Mm-hmm.
Like they would just hit it with a rock and destroy it. Yeah. He's like, I would introduce like a predator,
right?
And so that we would get like the most magnificent ponies from it. I'd ruin them that way, but into evolution. And I'm like, that is so you.
God damn it.
Damn it. But he's like, yes, I don't like them either. But I do like his warning at the end. He's like, you will come to know I'm right, Jean Grey.
Right.
And I'm like, about humans, because what he does offer them, we didn't even talk about that.
Oh yeah, he was going to exterminate humanity.
We get so into like him being there and like the X-Men element of it, but like he comes with an orb that's like,
this is a plague.
It will it'll children amend them.
Yes.
It will sterilize.
Which I think was another story recently in Marvel.
It might have been.
It was a Captain America story.
Ah.
There was an Inhuman
who could do that.
That Hydra was going to weaponize to sterilize everyone that didn't have him and the cure.
Yeah.
So High Evolutionary is going to do the same thing. You get the planet. You've already taken 2 planets. That's why we're here. And they save the day, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, but like he's like,
fine.
you can kill them this way, or they'll kill themselves.
Right. It's up to you.
It's one is kind and one isn't, basically, in his eyes.
Yep.
But I assume that's what he's warning her about.
Oh yeah, no, he is.
It's like, no, they won't let you have this.
Nope.
They will not let you have this. Also, I believe they're in Vietnam.
Yes, they are.
And so like after the High Evolutionary leaves, the people there, the Vietnamese, are like, come eat with us, come have dinner with us.
And
one guy's like, I love the Avengers.
Yeah. Rogue was an Avenger, though.
Yeah.
So I could see him being confused, but he's not. He was just like, oh, colorful costume characters.
Yeah,
they must be the Avengers. Us. Yeah, and the book is pure joy. That's what this page kind of encapsulates.
Yes, it's just fun.
It's just fun. Just trying to be fun.
Fun issue.
But they also have more to go, because we also set up Orcus and the scientist who wanted to go to Mars, whose life was destroyed as a result. And they're like, well, I mean, like, the planet's pretty big. We'll just send our own people to go settle on the other side of Mars.
This issue is the literal example of what I was talking about, how I was like, it feels like we're coming to the end, and by that I mean the end of the joy, because this book was so joyful until the last page reveal, where I was like, oh crap.
Great stuff. We set up the scientist we set up in issue 1, and he's gonna go to Mars. They're gonna have like basically just a big friggin' war. We know that's gonna come on Mars. It was Duggan's idea to even go to Mars and do this stuff in the first place.
Go for it. I'm sure the mutants of Araco will welcome you with open arms.
No doubt.
You have no idea.
Yeah. Also, what we play off from before with the autopsy of Scott Summers, they just take the resurrection reveal that they discover from his autopsy and give it to Ben Urich and have him do an article for the Daily Bugle about it.
Yeah, and can we talk about how stunning the art is for this? It's funny.
Coney Island is amazing.
It's amazing because you have this book filled with Laraz doing these beautiful action sequences with these very colorful characters.
And then
like,
we just go to this almost monochromatic page.
Some of the standout art for me was this moment of like just this rain-slicked boardwalk and this noir feel.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yep.
Loved it. Really, like, it just goes to show you that like Roz, like even if his art is very like action oriented and very stylized, it can fit for something like this as well.
Agreed.
Where it's just a solid, amazing conversation.
Yeah, another recommend.
For
X-Men number
sure.
3. It's great.
Mhm.
Girk Pectus. No, I'm sorry. Yes, Girk Pectus says, any horror movies you plan to watch for Halloween? I recommend Possessor Uncut. It's a cyberpunk horror movie like a nightmare version of Matrix.
Okay.
Neat.
I want to watch Malignant.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
It is called Malignant.
Is that what it's called? Don't tell me. Don't spoil it.
Don't spoil it.
Don't spoil it.
Don't you dare, because I watched Red Media's discussion.
Don't spoil it, but you mentioned it, so I want to watch it.
I was like, oh, Tiffany, here
don't
you go.
ruin this for me. You will be banned.
That's right.
I don't know if you'll actually be banned. I think you'll just, you probably won't be.
Our mods will give you a hard time.
Yeah, you'll be hassled. I still never watched Crimson Peak. I'd like to watch that. I literally just noticed my Netflix list today, and I had actually put quite a few horror things on there.
Indeed, you did.
So I would like to check some of them out that I have here. I want to watch 1922.
Yeah.
That Stephen King thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it's not great. I don't care.
Probably not.
I want to check that out. There are quite a few things I would like to watch, and then just some stuff I'd like to rewatch.
Yeah, well, it's the fall, which means you'll be watching Blair Witch Project with your best friend.
Blair Witch will come up. I like that movie. I don't care.
Don't
act.
No,
me,
I
fam.
think it's come around. It's come back around.
I love that movie. I think I am mystified by it every time that like they were able to pull it off.
Yeah.
Like it's so like
I know.
It just seems so like half-assed when you think about the way in which it was done, and like such luck.
It's funny.
It worked at all.
You know what it reminded me of just now? It made me feel bad for the Marble Hornets guys. If they had that idea like 10 years earlier, they would have given
that was such a solid start to a series, and then it just fell apart.
Well, it just pooped its pants by the end. That's what it did. They couldn't do it. They couldn't just wrap it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Lawrence Perry, greetings. Which do you think was
hello.
worse, Spider-Man 3 or Amazing Spider-Man 2? I personally had fun with AM7 2, although I know it's flawed.
I'm with you there.
I liked Amazing Spider-Man 2 more. Spider-Man 3 is very much like this weird kind of like wrestling match between Raimi and like an Avi Arad, who just wants to have these terrible ideas. But like Sandman was not the way to go. Like it wasn't. And despite how well it works, everyone's gonna say that the score and the Locket scene, yeah, they're all great. But like those are scenes. Those are like film student moments. Those aren't a movie. And Amazing Spider-Man 2, I had fun watching it, but it was also like that was a movie where the studio was just trying to make a franchise out of one movie that everyone was like, oh, a sequel. So they both are gross and like corporate and embarrassing. They have their own moments. I think I'd be more embarrassed of Spider-Man 3. Girk Pectus, what do you think Marvel's version of the Joker is? A great villain they're ruining by shoving him in many stories. I think Dr. Doom's getting close. No way. Dr. Doom works just fine.
No, but like a villain who they're putting too many places.
I don't know who they're putting in too many places right now as far as villains go. My 1-to-1 for the Joker has always been Norman Osborn.
Yeah, in terms of that, but I'm trying to think of honestly a villain that they're using too much.
Right. Mephisto.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
I think that's just because.
Just culturally everybody's talking about him.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Like it.
Heartless Fang, speaking of Sam Wilson cap run you guys did, what would you guys do the little Capwolf arc? It would be a good October themed comic to do. Quite possibly. It's not a bad idea. I don't know if we have time for that, but we might.
Yeah, we didn't really do this right this year.
But this is a messed up year, so like next year we'll have our druthers, but we'll get there. Let's talk about Supergirl.
Wait, what about any of the things I read that weren't on your list?
Well, what'd you read?
I read Moon Knight.
Oh, that's right. You read Moon Knight.
Which I know you don't care about.
I don't care about it.
It's written by Jed McKay with art by...
Oh, God, there's 2 more books, yeah.
Alessandro Cappuccio. I think you might have actually enjoyed this issue. This has vibes of... What is it? What's his name? Ghost Hunter? Ghostmaker. Where it's like a dude shows up to tell Batman he's bad at what he does and show him what's up.
My God.
That's the vibe.
That's what Hunter's Moon is.
But that's the vibe. However, instead of just having it be that and be very serious, okay, so we've met this guy already. The like
Yes, the Hunter's
Khonshu's
Moon.
fist,
Yeah, whatever.
right?
Yeah.
This dude is like, I'm gonna test you. Yeah, I don't like your what you got going on, Moon Knight. You're not very good
Yeah,
at
you're
what
not.
you do.
You're not.
Yeah, what he
motivated
really has a
enough.
problem is the fact that he's like, you didn't kill those vampires. You were supposed to do that. I don't think you know what you're doing.
Oh.
And the chick who he took in as like his like assistant,
Yes,
essentially,
the vampire.
she asked him, she's like, why didn't you kill us?
Right.
And like Moon Knight's like, the reason I didn't kill you was because I realized that like who you have to kill are bad people.
Right.
Like who like beings who do bad things. And it's not because the other two that I killed were vampires. It's because they like kidnapped people and hurt people. That's why I killed them.
Right.
But you didn't do that. And neither did like your friend. So I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Fair enough, Moon Knight.
All right. The rest of the book is those two, the Fist of Khonshu.
The two Moon Knights.
The two Moon Knights. Having a fight.
Okay.
Was it what's his name? Dr. Batter? Whatever. They have a big fight, and it's a funny fight to me because it's just two adult men dressed in Moon Knight costumes having a fight where like they seem kind of tired at one point. And I'm like, the Moon Knight costume must be very heavy.
Yes.
Right? And like it gives you that feeling. They talk about things the entire time. Like Moon Knight's like, that's not like what I do. Like I'm all about saving citizens. I have to protect them and like what have you. He's like, yeah, but you can't save vampires. They fall off of a building together via pushing and such.
Sure.
And then essentially like the other guy just stops and goes like, what is wrong with you? And that was the point where I was like, tell me more, Jed McKay. What you got going on here? And he's like, I'm not talking about the vampire thing. Like, why do you fight the way you do? It's not like beautiful.
Normal. Oh, okay.
It's not the way it should be. It's not elegant.
No, it's not. It's never
hell?
been. Yeah. I'll cut your face off.
Right. Yeah, no, it's very much that. And he's like, well, you think there's anything like beauty in what we do? And he's like, yeah, no, you fight like an animal. Like,
yeah.
Didn't like, okay, when you got ordained, didn't you get the memories of all the like previous Khonshu warriors or fists or knights or whatever?
What? No.
And he's like, no, I guess they thought there was too many people up here already. But I love that. Like, he's just like, okay.
Wait, stop.
Wait, you suck.
You're freaking out.
Yeah, like you're not good at this.
I'm very good at this.
I'll kill you.
I'll kill you. I'll cut your face off. I'm a psychopath.
No, he uses like his one of his sticks and he like hits the guy in the face with like it goes like he's like, ow!
Dracula owes me money. You fucking nerd.
He ends up kicking this guy's ass and he's just like, that's the difference between you and me though. Like, you know, you didn't
think this is like a game or something. I'll kill you.
Well, no, actually Mike gets his ass kicked and he's like, I'll show you. I'm gonna go take your like friends from you and I'll show you how to be stronger because that's what I'm here to do.
Oh god.
And that's where I was like, okay,
that's Ghostmaker.
Ghostmaker there goes after like
Moonmaker.
The two vampires and his friends. He's like, okay, cool. He's got a bit of like, you know, like a congregation going. I'll let them live, but I got to kill these two. And then Moon Knight becomes Batman because he picks up a bat and he just beats this man in the back of the head.
That's awesome.
Moon Knight becomes Batman.
Yes.
A literal Batman. And as he's hitting him, and he's just like, don't you get it? You suck at this because you got like, you became the avatar of like Moon Knights, basically. They just downloaded stuff into your brain. You didn't earn it. I earned it. I'm going to beat you.
I earned it bleeding in the desert while trying to, like, after murdering a poor son.
Yeah,
like,
people are they're just watching him, like, beat him, and then he drags him into the street, and he's like, and now I'm going to do something questionable. I'm not going to kill you.
Right.
I'm just going to let you live.
I'm going to take your pants off and leave you in the street. I'm going to pee on you. That's what I'm going to do. You don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to let Jake Lockley take over, and he's going to put you in the trunk of a cab.
He's like, drag yourself out of my temple, and, like, hope you don't get my attention unless I become even more interesting. He just beats this man with a bat and then makes him leave.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah. So I was like, I think you might have enjoyed this issue because it's so, like, for a moment, this other guy who is equally a lunatic in his own right has a moment of like,
wait, you know what? You're not taking this seriously. It's like, yeah, no, I'm desperate. Yeah. Eyes, ears, groin. I don't care where. I'll just get you.
Yeah. So
I just need to win.
You really
enjoyed
I
it.
enjoyed that issue quite a bit.
Well, speaking of Jed McKay, what'd you think of the death of Dr.
Yeah,
Strange?
let's jump into it. Here we go, folks.
Here we go from Lee Garbett
and Jed McKay.
Yeah.
Art's pretty solid.
Yeah, I've never heard of Lee Garbett.
Solid look to it.
Mhm.
Done in a 2-chapter style.
Okay.
So we get like here's the thanks. I know how to use Comixology, I swear.
Well, good. You're gonna have to learn because I like using the desktop, and they're gonna get rid of that pretty soon.
I like the mobile app. I do, but I know what you mean about desktop.
Yeah.
This book is either really good or kind of lazy. And I don't know, and I won't know until the end. And I don't care what you think about it either way. I won't know until the end.
Right.
But this book establishes that this is continuity. Bats is here. He is a surgeon. Wong is here. That one I questioned, but whatever. We emphasize Clea. We set it in a modern time with a like very modern take on Strange. Don't forget too, like this is following everything that came, but like, you know, Strange's big kickoff really started with the Aaron run on Strange, like his more recent like renaissance, if you will. Reinvigoration of the character started there. And so we deal with a lot of that sort of setup, but more what happened recently.
Right.
I was thinking about the fact that Jed McKay also is just dealing now with what happened with Moon Knight in the Aaron run of Avengers, bringing him down to something smaller and simpler, and that's seemingly what they're doing as well.
Okay.
Here,
like they're bringing it down, making it more of like an actual Doctor Strange comic,
sort of. Yeah. You know, we see him doing surgeries. We find out that Jed McKay clearly read books from the 70s for Strange. I say that because like Strange like performs a surgery and then has got to go to stop an event happening with this guy who like sought power, and like he's like, they're dying, and he's like, who is? And he finds out it's Cinnabus, and you're like,
who the hell's that?
Who's Cinnabons? No, Cinnabus is one of the proprietary. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
Probably not. No, principalities.
Oh.
I really wanted to make a mystical principalities, a la a Hoggoth or Watum or Cytarax, someone you invoke power from. It's also a location.
Okay.
So it's a place that it's the 7 sons of Cinnabus are also ruled by the 7 sons of Cinnabus.
Okay.
He often invokes it to perform light spells, but we first saw it in the 70s evoked. So I think we're like, I've read things.
Yes.
Got it. No problem. Appreciate that. We see Strange go to Strange Academy. Hey, that's going on right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna establish
not gonna throw that out.
It's cool.
That's very nice.
Doyle Dormammu is there and he's like, hey, yeah, like I haven't heard from my dad in a while. Is everything okay? And Strange is like, I don't know.
Right.
But then there's like an attack of like some random demons from Limbo that he and Magic have to take care of. And she's like, I'm kind of embarrassed about this. Sorry. But they like stop that, right?
Sure.
He goes on a few other adventures and then proceeds to inevitably make it home. Right?
Okay.
That's what we need to know. We get one more like image of Clea. It's just I know that's her hairstyle, but sometimes they play it down. This image of her, they don't. Maybe that's just, you know, Dark Dimension, the rage of like what people want for hair, but I don't know. Strange is at home. There's a knock on the door. We are going to spoil this, so we're just giving you a heads up. If you want to read it, you should still read it because the dialogue is pretty solid and like does a good mixture of like Aaron's snark and a little more classic Strange-ish here. Wong even at one point was like, you remember early on used to be like, because of like who you trained with, you were all like Zounds and stuff like that. I kind of miss that sometimes. So he gives him a Zounds at one point.
Yay.
Opens the door. There's a creepy smile. We don't see who it is. All you need to know is like in Strange's final moments, he essentially remember how I was like, maybe they're not going to kill him legitimately.
Yeah.
He has a moment where he's like, I wish my friends were here, even though I know they couldn't be because there's nothing they could do to help me. And I don't want them to be hurt, but I wish they were here because I don't want to die alone.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's sad. He's stabbed. And when it happens, everyone who's ever had any interaction with him feels it. And like even the Fantastic Four, like technology starts being like failing and being weird, right? Mordo shows up. Everyone immediately is like, "It was you!
It was you, Mordo!"
And
then they start the trial of Mordo, and it's gonna be 5 issues
Mordo.
right before a really big event.
Baron Mordo. No. Baron Mordo's like, no, man. Like, I wanted to kill him.
Right.
And I didn't. So who did it? Who done it?
Who done it?
Who done it? The who done it is a huge element of this book.
Okay. Oh my God.
Right? It's gonna be a who done it, sure. But that's
Do they know who it is?
No, we don't. And we don't
Okay.
know who it is. But like but that's not the actual thing. This is the part where if you haven't read this book, put your fingers in your ears. Put your fingers in your ears, folks, because you don't want to tell you what happens on the last page, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange emerges from a portal.
Okay.
But it is a Doctor Strange that we have not seen since like Strange Tales 114, I think.
Right.
About and around there, because he's worn it before, like, on other times, but it's the Blue Cloak of Levitation, which showed up in Strange Tales 114. The Blue Cloak of Levitation is not as powerful as the red one that's later gifted to him. This is the one he actually gifts to Rintra at one point later on.
Okay.
How does this happen?
Yeah.
Throughout this story, he's telling us about, like, when he was growing up, he remembers I think it's Slavic story about a being named, I'm going to butcher this, everybody, so let's just get all the way off my back about this one. Koschei the Deathless.
Okay.
Who he was fascinated by him because he was immortal, so they said, because what he had done is he removed a small piece of himself and like hid it in a needle, and then that needle was in an egg, and he put that egg in a duck, and that duck in a rabbit, and that rabbit in a chest, and that way nobody could find it.
Okay. All right.
So presumably he tried to do that. And that's what shows back up. So I don't know how to feel about this, and here's why I don't know how to feel about this. It's because this is like a brilliant way to roll Strange back to a time in which things were a little bit more simplistic for him.
Yeah.
But it's also, I can't tell if it's brilliant or just like, I didn't know how to fix him, so I just rolled it back.
Right. So this is like,
I rolled it back to another save
this
point.
is like Ditko Strange.
Yeah.
Now is he emerging from the past? Is that the idea?
He's emerging. He was activated essentially. Like when he died, by the way, when he enters, he goes, "Zounds!"
That's a good callback.
He's like, I need to know what year it is.
Right. I love that.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I think that's awesome.
So
this is a Strange who like
he Horcruxed himself.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a clean fix.
It isn't like,
because Strange has been so effed.
He has, but I feel like you could fix it without having to do that.
Yes.
Because what you just said was like, sorry everybody,
we've ruined him.
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know, but like, who knows if this is what's going to stick?
Right.
But remember how I said I don't think they're actually going to kill him?
Yeah,
they did, but they didn't.
Right.
They did, but they didn't. So
yeah. I kind of love it.
It's also rolling it back quite a bit.
Like
the blue cape for me is
it's such a jarring
it's
change.
such an like you can very much pinpoint.
But that's kind of fun.
That
I don't know. I kind of like the look of the blue cape as like a throwback. It's one of those things where you get a new character now. Like you get all new.
You do and you don't, because like in theory it's like this guy is not, we'll see. I'm sure that in the next issue they will establish more where he's actually from. But that blue cloak, I was like, we haven't seen that for a long time.
No, you know what they'll do?
It's Obi-Wan.
It's because here's the thing: we could get two things out of this. We could get either like blank slate Doctor Strange. We could see Doctor Strange like showing up places and being like, they're like, "Oh, hey Doc," he's like, "Don't speak to me so familiarly. I don't know you."
Yeah,
and like seeing Doctor Strange have all new adventures with the Marvel Universe,
yeah,
which is what I would expect.
It's neat, but if they roll it back this much, it's like, hey, the Strange that was part of the Oath, the Strange that was part of
all
Aaron's
of that's
run,
undone.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's not undone. It's just he's dead.
But his astral form is still there,
probably.
And one day when
they'll have to merge.
They merge the astral form into his, and then he's back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I won't know until this is all said and done, because I want to give this a fair shake, 100%. Because I'm not saying I didn't like it.
Right.
I'm not saying that, everybody.
But you also didn't. You were suspect of the premise, because it's like, well, we put him in space. We made him a surgeon.
Yeah.
We took away magic. We brought it back. We've run out of ideas for Doctor Strange.
And I'm like, but let's
just kill him now.
But you have it. I'm like, for me, Doctor Strange being the Sorcerer Supreme isn't 100% the reason I like him.
Right.
It's a part of who he is as a character. Certainly, it's his job.
It's not about how powerful he is.
No, it's never about that for me. But like, Strange dealt with a lot of random crap that had nothing to do with like the Avengers or what. Occasionally it did.
Yeah.
But like he did a lot of things, small, big, whatever.
Exactly.
We've kind of gotten away from that.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what we're going with this. What I am not excited for was the fact that this is supposed to be 5 issues, but it's actually 11 issues.
Oh my God. That's right. I remember you talking about this.
Because there are 6 other books that will go in with this. If you want to read this in its completion, which I'm going to do. Right. Even though I'm not saying you should do this. I'm not saying you should do this at all, but you will have the Death of Doctor Strange 1 through 5, and in between those, or additionally, you'll also have Death of Doctor Strange Avengers, Strange Academy Presents, Spider-Man, White Fox, Blade, X-Men / Black Knight.
Yeah. I want to know who's writing the Spider-Man tie-in.
Sure, I bet you do. So, and like, I hope it's DeMatteis.
Oh my God. It's not.
I know. That was the other thing too.
It would suck because it'll be fucking Ben Reilly being like, hey, I don't really know you.
I'm not upset with Jed MacKay. I'm looking forward to like kind of getting to know his work a little bit more.
Yeah.
And his take on Strange and where he wants to go with this, because seeing the Cinnabis drop and then seeing the blue cloak says to me, this guy read Strange back in the day.
Right. Yeah.
Back
you
in
can
the day.
pinpoint, like if he had a blue mask with like a black eye,
and I would have
you'd be like, oh, he read it in the 90s.
Well, I might as well just put this in the garbage. No, I'm kidding. But now that the fact that the DeMatteis is back, I'm like, but I kind of wish they had just waited.
Yes.
Just let him do
it.
Just let because I know he wants his chance. He did into Shambhala, but I know he'd like to have a shot.
He never had like a run.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying don't read it. I am saying that like of course I'm going to be critical of it, guys. Objectively speaking, I'd like to see where this is going in terms of what the status quo they'd like to leave Strange in at the end of this.
Yeah.
Because I am the first one to say that I think since the Aaron run ended, they went off the rails and lost their way.
Yeah, easily.
I just hope that they fix it if that's what they're trying to do in a way that doesn't feel cheap at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all I'm saying. Subjectively speaking, I'm hesitant. I'm reticent because it's a character I really like. So don't take my like inspection of this in that way as like saying like, oh, it's bad. Oh, I don't like it. It's just me being cautious.
Yeah.
Cautiously jumping into
That's fair. New type Ghibli. Do you think some writers are good for certain books, not others? For example, Saladin was good for Miles, but not good for Ms. Marvel. Absolutely. It's just all about like different tone and different, like, I wouldn't put certain people, like I wouldn't put Garth Ennis on a book that's supposed to feel like lighthearted and fun. Like I wouldn't put him on like a Strange Academy or something.
No, I think some like, listen, even if you think about book writers in general, like Stephen King can write other things, but for the most part, he's known for his horror. I probably wouldn't pick him for a romance.
Yeah.
To write something like that.
Probably not, given the romances in his horror.
But, then you have like a Tom King. And as for me, I feel like he does better with a limited series with specific styles of characters.
Yes.
Most of them being types or characters that he has a passion for.
Yeah.
Or like that he has an interest in writing something about them.
Exactly.
I wouldn't necessarily force him into doing something.
No, I'd just be like, what do you want to write?
Yeah.
Speaking of Tom King,
I set you up.
He also wrote Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow with Bilquis Evely. This is issue 4 of 8. This is the halfway point for this series. And so, Tiffany, what do you think of this book?
This is my favorite issue to date.
It's great. Yeah.
This issue in particular, like I've liked each issue and they've each gotten better. So now that I've said this, I'll probably say that's next time that this comes out. But this was very much my favorite issue to date.
Yeah.
On this book.
Well, I think it gives Supergirl an opportunity to finally like be established. We're seeing what King thinks of her.
Well, I think that we're seeing her dealing with her own emotions and feelings as she's being surrounded by
other people's
horror and such. But we're also seeing the woman she has become.
Yeah.
through her own experiences and through her experience with Cal, I'd say,
Oh,
because she
totally.
does things in here that are quietly heroic.
Mm-hmm.
I want to cite there's
The
like
grave digging.
there is the antagonist of this story has been going world to world with this like gang and like just wrecking places,
Yep.
like mass murder style events. And there's a grave digger who's just trying to get through this, trying to get as many done, because they say, like, he's like, if I don't get this done by a certain point, they're just going to end up doing a mass grave, and my daughter's out there and I don't want that to happen.
Yep.
She offers to help. He's like, this is my job. And she's like, but I'm a neighbor, and so it's my job to help you with this. And like, that was so like, that's
Superman.
Yeah,
like that's a super thing to do.
Yes, and like that's a super family.
It's a House of L thing to do.
Yes, that like it's just such a like, she's not punching anybody. She's not, stopping an asteroid from hitting something.
Yep.
It's just something that will make a difference to a small amount of people, but could mean everything.
Yeah.
And I that for me, I was like, yes, because we do get fights.
Yeah.
We get fights. We see her punching people. We know she's threatening. We know she can take it.
Yeah.
But that I was like, yeah, this is showing the complete character of Kara.
Yeah, that's right.
Art in this is dope. You probably saw me post about it on Twitter. I love these gates. I love what these gates symbolize. I appreciate her protection and also just like knowledge of dealing with this type of events that they're going through with Ruth. They come to a place where this civilization has intense record keeping, and so they have like their equivalent of video records of what happened. And Ruth's like, I saw my dad die.
Yeah, so I've seen horror.
I found him. I know horror. I've been with you. And she's like,
you're not want to see this. Yeah.
And like when Supergirl comes out, she's
changed.
She's changed and she's affected by this. So she was right to do what she did.
Yep.
We just continue to go along in the story. And we come to the end, in which point we think that Supergirl might send Ruth home at one point. I love that sequence so much.
Oh, when she plunges that in the sun.
Yeah.
Because after she sees these untold horrors, like she's just, oh no, that's right. No, it was when they attacked the monks.
Yeah, it's everything. Everything's been building and it's just been heaped on top of Supergirl, and she's been taking it. They go to this place that's clearly a very like pacifist world.
Yep. It's delicate.
They didn't fight back.
Yeah.
And so she knows if she screams here because she can't take it anymore, she'll destroy something even more. So she flies away and goes into the sun. I love the like iconography of any of the like House of L and the sun in general. Obviously, there's a lot of history or mythology with the sun and the House of L, powered by the yellow sun.
Yep.
It makes you think of All-Star Superman.
Totally.
You always wonder, why doesn't he just throw all of his problems into the sun? Anything like that. Ruth gives an excellent narration here. I know there's a lot of language and a lot of narration in this book, but this is so effective here. How she describes, she's like, wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I'm fairly certain that, she would tell you she was fine.
Yes.
And then ask if you needed help. And we just see her in the sun, just feeling all of her emotions.
Yeah.
All of the emotions that she needs to go through, she has the opportunity to do in a sun.
Right.
And I'm like, that's just spectacular.
Yeah.
I also love the idea that like, and we've heard this described before with Superman, that like he always has to hold back when he's fighting, certain enemies. But like, for example, if he's fighting Apocalypse, he knows he doesn't. Darkseid.
He's from
Apocalypse. Listen, I've got an X brain, everyone. Leave me be. When he's fighting Darkseid, he doesn't have to hold back any longer.
Yep.
Doomsday, similarly. Here we see Ruth describe it as that, she has laser vision, she has, freeze breath, she's super fast. And it's not that she can do those things. It's not that she can activate the heat vision or use the cold breath or go fast. It's that she prevents herself from doing it.
Yes.
So like when she looks at you, know that she is
not burning your
face off. And when she speaks to you, she's warming her breath so she doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
And when she walks with you, she's slowing her pace.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's cool.
It's all about restraint.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. That's a really cool way to present it.
Exactly.
And then right at the end here, like there was a panel that like blew me away
Mm-hmm.
because this single panel that like King and Evely put together, I thought was like just set the like this is the perfect example of like the tone and the message of this story in a single panel with like a single sentence on it. And it just says like, and I put my weight on her, and then it just says Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. And I love
Yeah.
their expressions.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me was everything that this book is.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if they did it on purpose.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No.
But that panel
At
to
this
me,
point, King has earned like the trust of that kind of explanation. Like,
yeah, that those sort of expectations. But that
Yeah.
panel hit me hard. That I was like,
Mhm.
wow, you in a single image.
Yep, encapsulated what the book is about.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I adore this book. This might end up being my favorite Tom King mini.
Wow. And that's saying a lot.
Says like we'll see. I
Yeah,
mean, like we're only
because Strange
issue 4.
Adventures ends tomorrow.
Strange Adventures ends, and I still love Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
But I am adoring this like love letter to Supergirl.
Totally.
So that's all I got.
Critic Clips, thoughts on the Sandman teaser? Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me give you my thoughts on that. It's just a teaser, so we didn't really know much from it. What I will say is I was surprised at how I don't want to say it's flat,
Right.
but the lighting is a little on the flat side for me, considering the scene that we're looking at should be lit by candles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that there aren't shadows, it's just the shadows don't seem to be from that. I know it's a really weird thing to say,
Yeah.
but that first sequence is very moody. It is bright in the book, depending on which coloration you're looking at. Like the newer colors are definitely brighter than the older colors were, but there are a lot of heavy shadows, things cast by candlelight and such.
Yeah.
The other thing too, Morpheus's eyes aren't black. He has eyes. He looks like a dude.
Right.
He just looks like a dude.
Yeah.
Like an Edward Cullen.
Yeah.
Like
he's hot.
He's hot. Ooh, Morpheus. He's so sexy.
Right.
So sexy. Giving you
shouldn't find Death or Morpheus hot.
So hot. Well, you might maybe you might find Death cute. She's a cutie.
She's cute. Yeah.
She's a cutie. Desire for sure. Yeah. You should be like, just nobody can deny Desire.
This is true.
But we'll see. It's a teaser. I can't judge the show off of a teaser.
And it's like I was a collective like 30 seconds of footage.
Right. I was also surprised that it seems like Roderick Burgess in the voiceover, but again, it's a teaser, so it's cut a very specific way, so it could be misleading.
Oh, totally.
Doesn't seem to know that he didn't catch Death.
Right.
Like he does in like he knows immediately. Like Dream shows up in the book and he's like, that ain't Death.
Right. Oh.
But it seems like in the teaser they're leading us to believe that someone else has to explain it to him, and I was like, okay.
Well, at least it'll set a tone, or it'll set a precedent where it's like from minute one, we are deviating from the source.
And I know that they are,
which is why we wanted to adapt this in the first place.
I know
to make something different.
I know that's what Gaiman has said.
Yeah.
So I know that I can't expect exactly what's in the book to happen at all.
Yeah. No, it looks like a Netflix show.
But I was like the lighting that disappointed me. But again, it's a teaser. Maybe they're not done color grading it. Maybe it's not.
Exactly. No, look, we didn't make a video 2 seconds after it came out that says, here's all the things that are wrong with the teaser.
No.
Someone asked, so here are the opinions.
Yeah. Listen, I wasn't even going to bring it up because I know people are on both sides of the camp are ready, champing at the bit, ready to fight over something they haven't even seen yet.
Exactly.
And I'm like, that was my opinion.
These are your opinions.
But I also know that it is literally a teaser.
Right. It's supposed to tease you.
It's cut. They showed the spell, but maybe it wasn't all the spell because he doesn't say all the things from the book. But I don't know because they're cutting a teaser.
Yeah. The date, the release date isn't even out.
I will say I dig the effect that they used to drop Dream into this world. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is not what happens in the book, but I still thought it was cool.
Right.
He also appears to be completely naked under there, which he's not.
No.
But again, they're sexing it up.
Yeah.
Hot, sexy, endless.
But also the helmet looks great.
It does.
Right? So it's like
just wait till you see Destiny. He's super jacked and sexy. I'm kidding. I have zero idea.
You haven't seen him?
No.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's jump into some recommendations for comics that are coming out this week that we think you should buy. Obviously, I'm going to pimp out Detective Comics 1043.
Okay.
it's the best Batman book kind of coming out right now. I dig it. Check it out. Amazing Spider-Man number 74, the end of Spencer's run, the epic conclusion of the Kindred saga. Sure. If you actually take a look at Patrick Gleason's art from his first issue and this issue, you'll see it's actually a continuation.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute. It's a fun idea. I like that.
Hang on a second. I want to acknowledge the some women find Morpheus to be hot in comics.
That's fair.
I know, I feel you. But if you look at that original
Sam Keith
art,
no one's hot when Sam Keith draws. That's not true, by the way. Sam Keith is,
no.
yeah.
When he draws it, it's not a conventional look.
Yes.
Until later on when it gets a little more so, and I'm guessing that's what they're going for, but this is definitely like a very conventional, like young Hollywood hotness coming in. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm hyped for Amazing 74. I can't wait. It's gonna be ridiculous.
I literally can't wait to hear the reaction.
Yeah, I can't wait to have a reaction.
That's what I'm the most excited for
right?
That. I'm not even reading it. I'm still excited.
Yeah. I'm not reading it, but Action Comics 1035, they're finally explaining where the hell Superman's going. Yay. I can't wait to hear about it.
Man, Lois just can't win. Her son leaves, her husband leaves.
Yeah, well, they really wanted them to be divorced anyway, so, take what you can get.
It's fine.
Robin 6 is just a good book. Gleb Melinkov's art is fun. Josh Williamson, of course, is a terrific writer. So if you're looking for a fun slugfest, you can go, you can do no wrong with Robin number 6. Blue and Gold number 3. If you want to see more of the of this duo, you gotta buy it.
Everybody says that they're their favorites.
Yeah, everyone loves Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. Well, then prove it by buying this series.
Only if you like it.
Yeah. Don't just buy it out of like your own, a compulsion.
Yeah.
But listen, Dan Jurgens is writing it. He loves these characters. You will too if you read it. Strange Adventures ends with issue number 12. Oh my God.
Yeah. Listen, just if you want to read this, watch out for the internet.
Yeah. Don't be spoiled. This comes out tomorrow.
And I won't have a chance
tonight.
I won't have a chance to read it, so I'm just gonna get away from the internet. Getting away from the internet.
Getting away. Although I will say I got to read Rorschach. That ended too, but
you got to read that as a whole.
I got to read them, but it's all done, so now I can.
Now you can.
But yeah, Strange Adventures, same deal. By the way, this is it. If you have been on the fence about Strange Adventures, buy this issue after you bought the first 11 because like it's done. You can enjoy it now. Superman 78 gets a second issue. Looks cute, fun. It's a good book. It's better than Batman 89. Tiffany, take it away.
I'm gonna say Wolverine number 16. We're dealing with Solemn. I like this new character.
Yeah.
I'm digging him. So I'm looking forward to that. Written by Ben Percy with art by Adam Kubert. I think this is Kubert's last.
I think this is the last one. I'm not sure though.
I'm not 100% on that. But I really digging the Kubert art. So I just want to keep going with that for as long as I'm liking it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Sword number 8 coming out.
Woohoo.
Looks like it's a Storm-centric book. So, loving that. Written by Al Ewing with art by...
with art by Guiu
Villanova. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry for my pronunciation there.
By the way, get ready for Sword to get very cosmic since Al Ewing's Guardians of the Galaxy got canceled.
Oh, I'm sure it will. And it's fine. That's the
Guardians are suddenly going to move to Araka.
That's the place to do it, I'm sure. But it's not a tie-in.
No. It's just a Sword book. Wow.
Hooray! Batman Reptilian number 4 is coming out. This is the weirdest book that I'm reading right now. This blast from the past, literally, but I'm enjoying it, so I'm going to pick up the next issue of that. Amazing Fantasy 3 is coming out. I like this book a lot. It's just fun. And then I want to give a shout out to Batman versus Bigby, A Wolf in Gotham. It's a Fables Batman crossover.
I can't believe it took this long.
You can't believe it took this long. I mean, I guess Batman hates dealing with this shit, so they're gonna make him deal with this. And then that's it. I've got nothing else.
No, you sure?
Yeah. No,
okay.
I'm kidding. Inferno number 1. Here we go. The culmination of Jonathan Hickman's X-Men begins. That is not what they were gonna label that as before. No. But here we go. This is a big one, guys. It's 52 pages. 52-page issue. Strap in, folks.
$6, not bad though.
We're in for a ride.
But yeah,
this is where Valerio Schiti went.
Yes,
they took him,
and hopefully he's on issue 6 or something. He's done with it.
They took him. from because he was doing Sword.
He was doing
And
Sword, and he was doing great work there.
I love his Abigail brand.
Yeah.
Love his Abigail brand.
Well, maybe she'll show up here.
But listen, I'm excited because he's gonna do a baller job,
Yeah.
a banger job. It's banger. Yeah, that's sad. What are we gonna get, guys? I don't even know.
We'll see.
Here we go. It's on. I thought Magneto was gonna end beforehand. Nah.
No. That's kind of it's kind of an oversight.
Everyone's gonna be like, who cares about Magneto?
Yeah.
Inferno.
Inferno.
That's gonna probably be me. But no, I'll still read Magneto.
Totally.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's plenty other books coming out that we didn't mention here, but then we'd just be reading a list at you. But these are just some of the
these are the books that we want to read
that we're gonna be reading
that we think you should check out.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much for our super chatters for sponsoring today's episode. Thank you so much for you subscribers for being subscribed. If you aren't already a member, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to help us out, you can always join us on patreon.com/comicpop, subscribe to youtube.com/comicpop, or follow on twitch.tv/comicpop. We'll see you guys next time with an all-new episode of Off the Rack next week on Monday around 5:30, between 5:30 and 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, so long, everybody, and thanks a lot for watching.